Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today let's talk about everything that I read in the month of January 2026. Okay, this month for me was such a good reading month, you guys. I feel like we've really kicked the year off strong. I read a lot of really good things that have been on my TBR for such a long time, and I'm excited to talk about them to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing, is this the first thing? Yes, I think the first thing that I read of 2026 so far was The People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Stunning edition, obsessed. So here's my true and honest confession. I've tried to read an Emily Henry before years ago and could not get into it. And then I picked up because the movie was coming out, People We Meet on Vacation, and I will be so honest, I can usually get through a romance in 1 or 2 days. This took me a minute to really get into, and even when I finished it, it was fine. Am I like so in the minority by saying that? I feel so horrible. The movie was good. I enjoyed the movie. However, obviously there's significant changes in the plot from the book to the movie, which is to be expected for most things when you do a book to movie adaptation. But yeah, I just feel like with this, I just really didn't care about the relationship. I didn't care about the people. I didn't care about the drama. I liked it. I thought aspects of it were cute. The sexy scenes were sexy. I enjoyed that aspect. They were well done. But yeah, everything else, I just kind of wasn't that invested. So I did give it a 3-star. I did enjoy it. Will I pick up more Emily Henry? I have a couple other things from her that I've already purchased on my bookshelves already, so I'll probably give them a try. But yeah, I just feel like I'm in the minority, which makes me sad with these books, but I will try more from her, see how it goes. But other than that, we kicked off the year with a solid romance. Next, let's talk about the next book that I read, which is again a classic here on BookTube, Book Talk, the book community, and that is The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. I really, really enjoyed this. I still want to see the movie of it. I thought it was really good. I did not see the plot twist of it coming at all, which was a great surprise because I feel like sometimes with these types of books, it's pretty easy to see where it's going to go. Could not have told you that was where it was going to end up. So this one follows a maid named Millie, and she essentially goes to work for the Winchesters. Things happen, it gets crazy, and I really liked it. I do wish there was more explanation of it because certain things just I wish had gotten a little bit more clarity, like maybe like just a smidge. Aspects with the daughter, certain behavioral things like that. Anyways, I really did enjoy this. I don't know if I'll continue on with the series necessarily because I feel like this is a really solid standalone, but overall I enjoyed it. I do want to pick up more from Freida McFadden because I know she's such a popular thriller author for everyone. But yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Next, let's talk about one that I read almost every January, and that is another book of the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire. This is Through Gates of Garnet and Gold. This is a continuation of the ever-weaving storyline that runs every other book in the series, with a main cast of characters with people from the home of Eleanor Westwood's Home for Wayward Children. This I really enjoyed, seeing some new familiar faces again. I love this series. It's one of my favorite book series I think I've ever read. I always wish these books were like 100 or 200 pages longer, so they're really, really good build up. I always feel like the action wraps up way too quickly at the end, but other than that, this one was really good. It does follow our character from the first book in the series, Nancy, and left off on a pretty good cliffhanger at the end of this book, so I'll be interested to see kind of where this portion of the series continues. And yeah, I always enjoy the standalones of these a little bit more than the continuation of the series that's interwoven through. But overall, I really liked this one. It brought back a lot of, again, characters we've seen before, which is always a good time. But yeah, other than that, I think I ended up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars as well. Okay, next, let's talk about my book club's book. So for those of you guys that don't know, I'm in a book club every month that we meet for with our friends, or my friends that we meet with on the internet, and we just will all go around and pick a book to read for the month. Our next month's read, spoiler alert, is going to be Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm really excited for that one. But this last month we read The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. This was a devastating book. This was so hard to read, you guys. If you guys haven't read this before, this essentially follows two boys that are living in Afghanistan. And who's the main? Ali, I think? No, who's the first one? I think so anyways, two boys growing up together, very different classes of poverty versus one that is much more of a wealthy background. And just certain things in this book, I will say, definitely look up trigger warnings for this book because it is rough. We read A Thousand Splendid Suns by him last year, and that also is a very hard book to read. I will say this is so beautifully written. It's so atmospheric. It's so heartbreaking, but it is a very tough read to get through. So I enjoyed it. Enjoyed isn't the right word. I appreciated this for what it was, but this, I will say, at moments made me physically feel sick. So just bear that in mind, that when you're going into this, it's just an emotional roller coaster. So I don't know if I would read more from this author. I think he's extremely talented, but his books are just very emotionally draining for me to read. However, I did give it 4 stars because it is such an incredible story. And when for a book to make me feel that intensely about something, I have to give the author credit where credit is due. So yeah, I definitely would say if you are interested in reading something from him, this is by far his most popular work. And I think it's a classic, a modern day classic for a reason. Just bear in mind as you enter into this world what you're getting yourself into. Next, let's talk about another one that's been sitting on my shelves for forever that I feel like everyone is obsessed with, Red Rising. What can I say about this book? So I will be continuing on in the series. I'll start there. However, this book almost felt like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna get hate for this. It almost felt like a fan fiction of the Hunger Games. With that being said, I am going to continue on in the series, and I know there are people who ride or die by this series. So I'm gonna see where it goes. But a lot of this for me was waiting to see what was gonna happen, and a lot of this book felt like I was being told what was happened rather than experiencing what was happened. So I did feel a bit more disconnected from it than I was hoping that I would. I also enjoyed this. It kept me super engaged. It kept me really interested. And so I'm very excited to, like I said, continue on in the series with this. This book is so dark though. Like some of the stuff that happens in this book, again, same kind of thing as the other book. It's just a heavy topic. Basically this man is what's called a red in this world of planets that people that are living on Mars. We basically have abandoned Earth and now we're living on Mars. And he starts off the book being a red miner in the underbelly of Mars, and basically his world gets turned upside down. I wasn't going into this. I had no idea what to expect with this. I read it in a couple of days. I do think it was really interesting. I do think there are aspects of this book that I've read in other stories before. So again, I'll be interested as the series progresses to see how he makes his story his own. Again, I know there are people that love this. My best friend absolutely loves this series. I just want to be where everyone else is with this series, and I feel like I'm not there yet. But that being said, I'm not giving up on it yet. I do want to continue on in the world and the series. So Golden Sun will be coming soon once I finish that one. I haven't even started it yet, but once I finish that one, we will continue on in the series. And I feel like this will be a focus of a lot of books wrap-ups for the month is going to be this series this year, because the 7th book is also coming out, I think in July of this year, sometime later this year. But yeah, other than that, I am cautiously optimistic of where this is going to go at this point, but I'm eager to see what it's going to look like. So more to come. Oh, and I give this one 3 out of 5 stars. Okay. And the last novel that I read for this month, and then we'll get into some fun other things, is Renegades by Marissa Meyer, the author of the Lunar Chronicles. And this by far, I think, was my favorite thing that I read this month. I really enjoyed this series, which has been sitting on my shelves for years. I'm telling you guys, this is the year that I'm knocking off the YA on my shelves that I just knew I was gonna love, but just haven't gotten around to. So this essentially follows a girl named Nova set in a world of superheroes. So this essentially follows a cast of characters that have multiple different types of superpowers. A lot of this, I will say, similarly almost to Red Rising, felt like a world I've seen before. So I'll be interested as the series again progresses as they make it their own. I thought this one though was so engaging. For how long the book is, I actually really enjoyed the world building aspect. I liked seeing the different character aspects. I liked seeing the different powers that everyone had that were so unique and individualized. And yeah, there was a lot of aspects of this I really enjoyed. There were things, like I said, that didn't make it a perfect book. However, my reading experience of it, I'm so excited to continue on in the series that I did give it 5 stars, and so far it's the book to beat for 2026. But we're only a month in, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to continue on in the series. Okay, next, let's talk about a bunch of graphic novels that I read this month. I've decided I'm going to track my graphic novels in a separate list for my Goodreads this year because I just want to see how many novels I can get through this year and see if I can still hit my goal number regardless. But that being said, let's talk about the books that I read that were outside of my general novel scope. The first being Renee and Glumfoot in the Cafe at the Edge of the Woods by Mikey Please. Look how cute this art is. This is a children's novel that I picked up from Waterstones. I think this one looks so cute and thought it looked so fun, and I was happy to say that it was a good time. Again, it's a children's book, so I read it in about 5 minutes, but it's a really cute little story about a woman who goes to open a restaurant in the woods and hires Glumfoot as her host, essentially. And it was really cute, had a fun little cast of characters, and I enjoyed it, and the art was adorable. Next, I picked up We Could Be Magic by Marissa Meyer. This was a really cute story, essentially following a girl who wants to work at what essentially is Disneyland and be one of the princesses in the park. So I thought this was super cute. I thought this one was really adorable in terms of just the art style, the dynamics between the characters. She is a girl that is a little bit heavier set, so she's not immediately picked as a obvious casting choice for the princesses, but just the situation she gets herself into, the boy that she meets at the park that's working there as well. It's just a really cute story. I really enjoyed this one and thought it was so cute and whimsical. It obviously reminded me a lot of the Disneyland kind of Disney adult vibe of people that are so drawn to the parks and what joy it brings to them. But yeah, I like this one a lot, and this one was a really cute one if you want to pick up a new graphic novel. Next, I read A Song for You and I by Kay O'Neill. This is the author of The Moth Keeper as well as The Tea Dragon Society, which are some of my favorite graphic novels just visually. Her art is so cute. This essentially follows Rowan, who's a ranger, and they want to they have a flying horse. Yes, they have a flying horse, and then essentially there's a situation that happens and they get stuck in their like hometown, and they get assigned to the lackadaisical shepherd Leon. Basically, they have to become friends. They get stuck in situations together. Rowan is very judgmental of Leon and their lackadaisical kind of go with the flow lifestyle. It's really cute. I did enjoy it. I don't know that it was necessarily my favorite story of all time, but the art is always so cute with these books. I think it's so cute and cozy, and I enjoyed that aspect of it a lot. So I would say I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. Next, I picked up another one that I actually really enjoyed. This is Leap from Samina Popescu? I probably am saying that wrong. This essentially follows a girl named Anna who's working at a dance studio, I think in Russia, and Romania. They're studying contemporary dance, and she has a girlfriend whose name is Katrina, who's an extremely ambitious ballerina dancer, wants to be famous, has very ambitious goals, but she keeps their relationship a secret. And then her roommate's name is Sarah, who basically has whispers of being the best dancer that the school has ever seen, but she also has a somewhat idealized crush on her teacher of their contemporary dance studio. So it's a really interesting dynamic. It essentially follows kind of I think it's a year or so of these girls' lives as they room together at this school and kind of everything that they experience relationally and personally. And I just thought it was really cute. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought that I would. I thought this one was fun. The dynamics were good. The relationships were really well thought out. And overall, yeah, I thought this one was really cute. And I actually think I'd pick up this one as a physical copy along with the We Could Be Magic. These ones were solid reads for starting off the year. Okay, next, let's talk about one that I wasn't a super huge fan of. This is Moonstruck, Volume 1. This essentially follows a girl working in a magical world that is a werewolf, and her girlfriend and the fans that she has and the antics that they get into. This one I thought was cute. It was a little hard to follow the storyline. I've also started the second volume in the series, and that one's also a little bit hard to follow. I will say I do love the art style. Like, the art style is so cartoony and adorable, and I just really enjoy it, just the visual side of things, but I just wish I could follow the story and casting a little bit better. That's the only challenging part with this. It's really cute. There's great representation. I enjoyed it a lot, but this one unfortunately isn't quite for me. But I'll finish the series just because they're quick and easy to read. And last thing that I read for the month is Happy Shop by Brittany Long Olsen. This essentially follows a girl that's just moved into a new town, trying to make friends, and she comes into contact with two sisters that work at a shop that essentially collects happy moments and is able to share those feelings with customers that come into the shop. I thought it was super cute. I thought it was adorable. She's got language, like she's moving to a new country, so there's actually like a language barrier, so just learning to assimilate into a new place and make friends I thought was so cute and realistic, and I just thought this one was adorable. I read it in one sitting, thought it was cute. I just love a good time when I'm reading a graphic novel of just a happy situation, a happy story, a happy ending. That's really what I love out of a graphic novel, and that one definitely delivered. All right, friends, so that is everything that I read for the month of January. I feel like I'm starting off this year so strong with my reading. I'm hoping it can continue. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite book was from January of this year and how you're kicking off your reading. I would love to know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. Subscribe to see more of my face, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!